Hi, this is Steve Walton from Tropic Heating and PatioHeat.com. Here we're going to look at this residential application, and here you can see we have a rather large square table in the middle. We have a doorway that either slides or swings in or out. We don't know that information yet, but if it does swing out, then we need to know the exact dimensions of the doorways and how far out they swing. We do have this 2-foot overhang over here. We have a louvered ceiling area with its frame that goes around here, and I think that's about it. So let's go ahead and see what we can do. Customer did ask about placing heaters underneath here, and while that might be okay for just this outside or the inside area here, it won't heat up the whole patio. And again, speaking about the glass, the only way you can really physically do something like that is to angle the heater out. And because you don't want the ray to be too close to a glass surface, because what will happen, is that you'll have a level of the glass where the ray will penetrate, and that'll superheat the glass, and so there'll be a top section of the glass being cold and then the bottom section being hot, and that could potentially crack the glass. So you want to be careful about how close you go to a glass surface, even though the glass is non-combustible, quote unquote. So we're not going to place a heater up here, and we're going to try to figure out what can we do. So here's the dimensions overall, and these are just rough dimensions. I know the customer had a little bit different dimension, but I have 20 feet 4 from this wall here to this wall here, or I should say this edge over here, and then I'm guessing at a 9'5" ceiling height or ledge height here, and 12 feet 7 from the outside edge to this inside wall here. I know there's a little bit of a different configuration over here, but it's just a footprint of heat here, or footprint of space that we're looking at for right now. So in any case, let's see here. I do have this at 2'10". I think this is supposed to be just 2 feet, but we'll have to take a look at that a little closer. I think it's actually 2 feet, but yeah, that might be set out here. We'll take a look at that, but I believe that should be only 2 feet. All right, so let's turn that off. And essentially I have just two different options. Option number one, and this would be to heat the whole entire space, and this is what's gonna be important here is, and this customer's gonna have to work with their contractor, is how much space is actually right here between this frame of the louver mechanism. How much space is here to the bottom edge? Can we actually place heaters here? And you can see I have suspended these heaters in midair, and that's just because these brackets really won't accommodate what I want to do, and I'll show you here in a second. But so these are 6,000 watt units, 240 volt, 25 amps a piece. I have them so that they're 6 inches of clearance on the left side and on this right side, and then also I have them at the same elevation as the bottom edge of this overhang here, so that's also important. And let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. So footprint of heat here, we're going to have, oh, and I should mention here I believe this is 2 feet, and then 2 feet of space here, and then yeah, and the back are the same exact footprint. And I'm just going to go back to this glass issue over here. You can see that, you know, there is a section where the glass is penetrating, but it's low enough to where the intensity of this heat ray isn't going to superheat this bottom edge here of the glass so much that it's cracking. So I just don't want to put the heater, you know, closer to, you know, I'm going to give you just a sample here. You know, we do have a virtual world here, so I can show you slightly what that would look like. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it here, but you can see here now, you know, we're lower with the heater, so our footprint's a little bit smaller, and also we're penetrating the glass a little bit more intensely. Here is the clearance below the heater. You can see that's also a potential issue because of the fact that I think this is only 2 feet wide or 2 feet deep here, so that's going to be an issue that we need to address here, and that's why I don't like this particular application. You know, we're not really heating up much of the space here. So and then also, you know, looking out, you can obviously see the heater right there in front of your face. You know, it's something that I'm trying to, as a customer said, you know, use a little bit of a minimalist idea here. So anyway, let's go back out and let's move this back to where it was. Right there. Okay. And again, let's turn that array back on, and you can see that we have good coverage here. Now, going back to that hanging in midair issue, Infratech does make a extended bracket, and so what you can do is take that extended bracket and mount it so that our clearance, or excuse me, the bottom edge of the heater is at the bottom edge there, and then also extend this bracket out to mount to the existing hole that's there. Now this is the 12-inch bracket. There's a 12, I think the standard is a 6, so this is a 6-inch, and then I think it goes in increments of 2, so it would be 8 and then 10 and 12, I think. Yeah, sorry about that. All right, so that would be how I would mount it. Now that'll put the heater out another, you know, maybe 1.5 to 2 inches. You can go with a 10-inch bracket, but it will give you an ability to mount on a vertical surface, so that's the important thing. They are special order, and they do take a little bit of time to get right now, so just bear that in mind. All right, so I'm going to turn that off, and then let's go to what would it look like with just 2 units in here. So 2 units would be the other alternative, and these are still 6,000 watt units. And again, you would mount them just like we had mentioned along this wall here with that special bracket, and a footprint of heat would be something similar to this. Now you could slightly angle each unit maybe 5 degrees in towards the center to get a little bit more overlapping, but I think there's plenty of overlapping here in the center. But if this was a cold spot, let's say here, then yeah, the overlapping might be a little bit nicer. Also, just note that, you know, I have these chairs pushed in. When you're sitting at a table, you're not sitting right up to the edge of the table. Usually you're sitting out, and that'll place you out a little bit further here. So that's true on both sides, and based on the actual table width, that might be a problem, having just 2 units. All right, so yeah, that would be my preferred application, would be the 4 units, and I think that'll be a plenty of heat for this space. And so there you have it. Thank you very much for watching. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you like our assistance, just email us to designs@patioheat.com. And also a thumbs up would be great, because we don't advertise, we don't monetize, and YouTube won't share our information unless you give us a thumbs up. So I thank you for that, and you have a great day.